Right then, good morning. I'm still waiting for these brackets from Richards, so I can't fit the rear bulkhead, which is a bit annoying. Would be nice to get on with that. We've got the exhaust on order. I haven't ordered the wheels yet because it's not really a big deal. Today I'm going to fit the inner wings, the radio, and just a few little bits and pieces. Yesterday I fitted a floor panel. I'll just show you that quickly. So yesterday I fitted this floor panel. I put some M8 bolts in there, which not normally in, and I used this nice sticky tape, the tape that we used over there, the bitumen tape sort of thing. Put some more soundproofing in, and it's gone down really well. That I'm really pleased with that. It'll be nice and watertight, and obviously we'll put some black rubber on there at the end, so that's got no problems really. I also put the brake pipe in. I'm just waiting to get the fuel pipe in, so that's why I don't want to put that floor in. Got a couple of bits to go in on the dash, steering wheel, radio, and these vent bits. Obviously we're missing that vent bit there, but I'm just going to put a bit of old tube up there for now, and that's all I can do really. So until we get these bits, we're a bit snookered. So I'm going to just loosely fit these inner wings. Thought I might as well. I think it'll be easier to do it now than join them to the actual hull wing. And but we'll fit these loosely now. I'll be adding a bit of grease behind any joints and stuff, just as a might as well. Bit of grease always helps. I'm still waiting for the bracket on this side, the right hand side bracket for the bulkhead, so I don't know whether to bother fitting this in a wing because it's just going to get in the way a little bit, so I might just leave that. Plus I need to get the fuel line in as well, you see, so I'll probably leave this one off. This is the problem now when we're waiting for bits. We're going to get sort of held up, so to speak. Don't forget this bracket. This bracket goes onto the bracket from the bulkhead, and that just comes on there and fits on there. I mean, you can put that one on first, you see it's got a big hole there, so you can put a nut in there first, but greased all up, ready to go. I've only managed to get one bolt in the back of here. I can't make that line up or pull the wing over anymore, so I can't remember what I was like before, but everything else is lined up. So we'll just leave it loose like that until we eventually put the wing on after it's painted. So we'll just nip it up, and maybe that's good enough. If you look there, it doesn't look quite central. So probably this bolt here will need opening up a bit. But until we get the wing on and everything, we don't really know for sure, so we'll just leave it for now. Put the steering wheel in. Still waiting for this new cross member bit and some brackets, so we put the rear bulkhead in. I just need to go and get some spare parts. Steering arm ball joint was wrung off when I tightened it up. That wasn't very good thread on there, so we'll get a new one of them. Here we have the new exhaust. We've got the front and the centre piece. We're just waiting for the big bore piece on the back, because I ordered them from 2 different places to get a good price. So we got a stainless steel exhaust pipe for less than £300. So as you know, we got the exhaust from Premier somewhere. I did mention it before. 48-hour delivery, free delivery as well, so that was a good deal. But we still can't really get on until I'm getting the manifold skimmed. That's at the place at the minute. That should be done this week, and then we can fit the exhaust. And I'm just waiting for the rear bit, which was off Maplin's 4x4, I think. They were the cheapest place to get it. So we just laid it out. There's that bit and the front bit. So that's all we can do at the moment. We'll just leave it like that. I cleaned up this checker plate. Marty's paint shop isn't happy with it. They want to have a look at it. But I think that'll be just fine. Get that nicely painted. So that's what we'll do. So we've got our right hand bracket come. Hopefully that, yeah, that looked like the right one. Hopefully that is. Yeah, it goes like that. Let's double check it. And these were sent by Richards as a gesture of goodwill because they had a numpty work on there and they kept making mistakes, but I'm still waiting for the cross member, so I have emailed them to see what's going on with that. As you saw the other day, I had these bits already actually, so I didn't even realise, but now they're galvanised, so they're a much better job, so that's great. So we'll get them painted. I think I've got a little bit of T-wash that'll do that. Thank you very much, Dylan. Dylan at Richards has been sorting this out for me, so you know, if I'd have known a little bit more, I would have been able to see the differences before I painted them. And obviously, doing a Landrover the first time, you don't notice these things. So now we've got the galvanised one, we can get rid of them steel ones that we painted up. And I'll have to just change that one out to the galvanised one. You can see it down there, what we fitted the other day. So we've got some spare brackets now. Thank you to Richards, but I didn't realise I had them. Then I wondered if they come with a bulkhead kit, but they don't send them. But never mind. So it was nice of them to send me them. So with the cross member kit, you get these brackets here, which I got originally with the cross member, which we've now found out is an old one. But I never received the other brackets. What you can see here, look, these little brackets here, they go on the rear of the tub and in the middle and that one there in the middle there, that is for supporting the rear bulkhead, so I obviously need them, and the ones on the other side, you see. So hopefully they'll send them. I did ask some weeks ago, but I never got them sent, so you know, unfortunately that was how it is. Really pleased with the exhaust. Like I said, I was looking at stainless steel exhausts. Obviously you can get them off demand and S&P panels, and they're like £700 to £800. Well, I just now got a stainless steel exhaust for under £300, and I've made a YouTube video of that. So if you want to watch that video and just see where I bought them parts from, if you want to save some money. So because we've put the seat box in and the floor in, we can't get the first bit of the exhaust in. We're going to have to drop out the cross member under the gearbox to get the exhaust in. That's just one of them things. I think that probably would have dropped in if we didn't put the seat box in, but that is the trouble with these Land Rovers and not getting the bits when you need them and everything else. Maybe I should have ordered it sooner, but never mind, that's what we're left to do. So taking that down, it's given me a chance to paint any missing bits. But I'm going to have to drop the anti-roll bar as well. Not too sure, well, I can't get it in without doing that, so I'll just quickly drop that down as well. And then hopefully that'll just slide straight in. But it's a bit of a nightmare. It's got the exhaust in. Well, more or less temporary really. Sitting there waiting for that head to be machined. Then we can put the turbo back in. Fitted this other bracket. I'm not putting the inner wing on because I'm still waiting for LR parts to give me new fuel lines. And then we can actually put it together, I suppose. I've just got to connect this earth, so I've got to get a longer bolt to go through there so I can connect that on. This earth from the bulkhead. And we'll be getting there then. So that is about it. Sort of ground to a halt again. I could put the back floor in, I suppose. I was thinking of doing that. Could put that back floor in. I don't think that'd do any harm. But we will have to obviously put the fuel line across there, so sometimes it's not really worth carrying on with stuff. I might do these bolts up because everything seems to be in position now. Make sure they're all tight. I think they are. Yeah, just got to wait for that bit. So I've got this stainless steel kit off Yarm for the back plates, but I have painted all these, you see, so I don't think that's worth changing them to stainless because they'll be dissimilar metals then. I've obviously got to put a stainless one in that end with there's one missing, but I think I've got to leave the rest, unless I should change them all to stainless. What do you think? I was then thinking as well, the floor sit on here, so I'm going to put some of that rubber tape between that, just because I think that's a good idea. But I'm just going to lay it in place for now. I'm actually not going to bother putting that floor in, because until you got the rear bit in, that's got to come out again. Waste of time. I'm waiting for these little hinges to be painted, then I can put this top bit on. The roof's got to be painted, and of course the brackets from Richards, which is stopping us fitting the rear bulkhead, which is really annoying because I'd like to get that done. Waiting for the fuel lines off LR. The order came over nearly 3 weeks ago, so they're eventually going to sort themselves out and send this fuel line. So a few things what are a little bit annoying, but the obscure companies that I've used and YRM, no problems with them. Everything's always correct. Thanks for watching. I've actually just realised there is a couple of brackets I should have installed. These go on there for the seatbelt, so we can put them two in. They go there and one over that side, so might as well get them in. So we'll get them in. Another jobbed. Give them a good grease up, so the surfaces that are touching, I've got a bit of grease in between, and we'll get them fitted. Look like they have a bolt go in the top and 2 bolts in the bottom was already there, so we might have to make them bolts a bit longer, we'll see. So we'll climb underneath and get that done. No need to climb underneath, just unscrew this, take this off, and we'll be able to manage it. So we can get to them bolts there, through there, and obviously the seat belt will go there, through there. And I don't know what that hole is for. I thought that might have been another fixing, but we'll see. So there we are, to just drill that out, put some paint over it. We can get 2 M8 bolts in there then, which will probably be a bit more secure for the seat belt. And this other hole is obviously where the seat bolt down. So we've got the one bolt in. As you remember, I had to drill this out lower down. So that's exactly what I'm going to have to do there. So obviously I'm going to have to do it to this one as well, which will be a better job anyway, really. Seatbelt brackets in. Looking good. Exhaust pipe. Don't know what that hanging bracket there, how that hangs on there. Let's go and check the old one. Well, it's got the same bracket on there, so there must be some kind of exhaust bracket to fit somewhere when we put the rear in. I don't know where, can't remember seeing it. But I do have the spare exhaust rubber, so I'm sure it all will become clear as we start building up more and more bits. Well, the nicest thing would be if Richard Chassis supplied the correct part there instead of that old one which I painted because I didn't realise, so I can fit that there and get this rear bulkhead fitted. Well, that is nicely wrapped up over there, ready to be fitted, because I'm frightened to scratch it. So the rest of our exhaust turned up. Still waiting for LL parts, and still waiting for LL parts to deliver my fuel line, and Richards to finish their order off, which is a bit annoying. Look at this beast. Three-inch big bore. Oh, it's even got a nice bit on the end, look. under £120 that bit. We've also got the tool for doing the window, but I've got a funny feeling the sizes aren't going to be correct, but we'll have a go. Let's see if we can fit the window. What I am going to do is just pop this out, because I think the join is here on the Land Rovers, so this join at the bottom is incorrect, I think. I'm going to do some research and see where they do that joint. Right, so according to Google, that is at the bottom. I mean, it makes sense to be at the bottom. So I'm going to get my tool out and see if we can fit this glass in correctly. So I've set the tool up with this size one, which I think is a bit oversized, because I have used this rubber in the past on electrical panels, but this is the smallest I've got, so I'm going to try that. So what we should do is this rubber, we have to put the joint at the top, so we stagger the joint, so the joint isn't there, you know, so the joint is staggered on the internal rubber. So I've actually used a bigger size. I've got it in a little bit. I'm going to put the joint on the side so it's a bit easier to get in. It's very difficult. I've put some silicone spray around it to try and help it slide, and we'll see what happens. So far so good. I've got a little terminal driver just to help just tuck it in places where I don't quite tuck in, and I've got to obviously this bit. What I find is good is just to wiggle it this way and that way, just to keep it open, and then push very hard on there with my finger, pushing it in. So that is difficult, but I mean that seems to be going in, so we'll carry on. I'm gonna just see if I can show you my technique. I got this way, so I just wiggling it backwards and forwards like that and pushing on it, and that seems to be doing the trick. Got to be careful on the bends. See, that's just popped out there a little bit. Be careful, because you don't want too sharp a screwdriver, but we can just tuck that in like that, and that will just tuck in. So we are getting there. Just got to be careful around these bends. That's the hardest bit, because that tend to get stuck a lot behind the bends, and obviously you don't want to break the window or anything, or the glass. So what I have been doing is just trying to get past it, because I always think you can come back and just tuck it in with the screwdriver. Yeah, sometimes you've got to pull it out and start again. You've got to try and keep that rubber square as well. If you had two people, that would probably help. And we just missed it there, look. We just missed it there slightly. You just tuck that in with the screwdriver. And here, you know, be very careful with the rubber, because you don't want to destroy it, but you can just tuck it in if you're gentle. Now we'll see if we can finish it off. So I hope you saw some of that, how I've been wiggling it just to Oop. I think the silicone grease helped a little bit, just to help it slide. Maybe you could use fairy liquid as well. I do pull it out again. too well here. And it's very difficult on these shorter bits. I'm still a bit dubious about that joint. Is that this LR parts stuff? I'm still waiting for the fuel line off, and they're a bit shit really. But they do supply all the products. But I can't say I'm overly impressed with them. I seem to be having problems with every supplier apart from YRM and the people I got the exhausts off. Obscure people that you never heard of. I suppose maybe they have to do a better job, huh? Yeah, I can't get that in there now. So it's quite tight at the moment. For whatever reason. I just cannot get that to tuck in. So we managed to get it round. You can see there, I've sort of oh no, it's a little bit popped out there. So we can repair that bit. That's better. That bit look a bit damaged, but it's been pushed on. That'll cut back. Now, don't ever cut that down. You need to push that in, push that back in. So we'll come down to there and then I'll show you. So once you've got it jammed in, you don't cut this short, you wedge it in. And then when that shrink itself round, that will sort itself out. If it does end up with a gap, that means LL parts have got crap bits. Other than that, should be alright. I'm not too happy with this though, look, but that might sort itself out. So all we can do is wait and see. But that at the moment is absolute shit. So that might be getting sent back. So there we are. That look a little bit. You might have odd bits where you just need to give it a little tuck in. Other than that, it's looking pretty good. Apart from this bottom bit here, which is a gap, both sides. Like I say, it might seal itself being left here, but I don't know. I've just been trying to work it around a bit, but I don't know if it's improved it or not. It's pretty bloody shit. It is pretty close on the inside though, so I don't know how they're supposed to be. I can't remember how the old one was. I can't remember it being that bad. Or have I got the rubber on the wrong way round? But I'm sure the rubber go this way round, unless someone knows some different. The first job is to try and manipulate the glass into the rubber, which is quite difficult. And however hard you try, you end up with a bit of a gap at the bottom there, which is a bit annoying. So maybe you should buy genuine ones, but I don't know. So I'm going to try and just get this lip in here, and then we can start all over again, trying to get the rubber in. So there we are, the glass is tucked in. And we'll do the same again. We'll start over here because we've got a nice easy gap. It's very difficult to start there, you see. And I have seen joints here on Landrover, so this is obviously why. And we'll try and get this next piece of rubber in. I will just show you this. This is the silicone spray I used. I'm sure that did help, so I'm going to spray some of that in here as well. Put a little in there and there. And that'll help us get this rubber on. So far so good. It's not looking too bad. It's a little bit easier this time. Obviously getting used to doing it. Now this one's a bit longer, but do not, that's obviously stretched when I pulled it round, but do not cut that down because you'll only end up with a gap in between if you do. So just remember that. So we'll try and tuck that in best we can. That went better this time. Oh yeah, look, I've still got a bit there that I can tuck in with a screwdriver. And we'll see if that closes up tomorrow. You can see here how difficult that is to get that in, but like I say, don't cut it. Keep forcing it in, or even come back tomorrow and push it in, because that will shrink back overnight. Alright, so see, don't cut that. I've pushed it all in. Got a bit of a big gap at the bottom. I've got to see if I can manipulate that a little bit. This one is a lot smaller. I'm sure that'll maybe close up overnight. We'll have a look. So they are getting closer. Well, it's a little bit better with pulling it around, just kneading it with my fingers. Hopefully that'll be alright. Like and subscribe.